That little $26 ANDRTI AEB was quite interesting and fun, but to make it a little more interesting, let's take a peek inside, see if there is any potential at all, and try to get rid of those weird mag and short dart. I'm Talon ANDRTI, welcome to TAG. Let's take a look into this M416 automatic AEB blaster, like half gel ball, half short dart blaster. This thing shoot the shorties, but the main goal here after looking inside will be to mod this thing to accept a standard Talon, therefore a 36, maybe 37 millimeter dart. I already took a quick peek inside and I have a slight idea where I gotta head myself to complete this mod, but I'm gonna explain to you. First, you remove all the screw, including the little mag release, and the blaster will mostly open by itself. Once you're there, that's about what you have. This whole blaster, I mean, apart from the mag well, which is this part of the shell, is this gearbox here. This is the whole blaster. There's a little micro switch here, there's another switch under there, but other than that, this motor inside this transmission is what's doing everything, meaning the tube and plunger all fit in the top part. Pretty much like a gel ball blaster or an airsoft AEG. Let's remove this. And let's remove this. This priming member is just in a notch on the plunger. So it's kind of easy to just pry it out. Let's put it aside. Okay. Now, this is the original magazine. You see it's taking the space and it is going inside completely. And this part fits inside here. But the thing is, it also fits on the Talon. So I got some hope for Talon fitment. At one exception, I'm gonna have to narrow this little dart tube because the space on top of the Talon is a little narrower than on the stock mag, and this dart tube need to go through to hold the dart at the right place and to allow chambering. Here, from what I saw, I already did myself a cut here. I'm gonna have to remove this whole line here to use this shell wall for the mag well. Going a little forward, I am not gonna completely hack into this gearbox. I really need to open 3-4 millimeter on this side, same thing on the other side. On the other side it's going to be up to behind this little round peg here. Once this space is clear, this magazine should go right through it, and after that the important thing will be to have a catch for our magazine, but we have enough space to glue something here, and I already have kind of a small plan for it. We're gonna have to adjust it just the right height so it's centered with this part. We're gonna have to have this lip here right under where the air come out, where the O-ring is. This way we're gonna gain as much space as possible. This one is gonna be under this part, and for the 1 millimeter that might go over here, or 1.5 millimeter, we're gonna shave it off the bottom of this little breech tube. We're gonna shave maybe from the half all the way to the bottom, maybe 1.5 millimeters thick, just to clear the dart coming in. And as for sealing, we got almost 5 millimeter of stroke in the seal section, so it might be okay to seal anyway. Now, to center this, to give you an example, I've already cut this part of the shell here. I just did it by eye, no measurement apart from having the magazine in my hand, and this thing look like it's gonna fit exactly in the right position. I'm just gonna have to make sure my catch is at the right place in a plastic piece that is gonna be stuck there. Okay, both half of the shell is cut. I just cut the shell because I will need to open this gearbox to cut it safely for the internal. Therefore, we're gonna open it together. But I'm telling you, to cut this shell, X-Acto knife with a brand new blade is way enough to do it. This thing is soft. Do I do it inside of the shell or outside of the shell? I'm going to do it outside of the shell. Let's cross my finger, it's not going to explode in my face. Okay, once inside, apart from this little member that kind of popped off its place, and I'm not sure what way goes the spring, but I'm going to manage. For the rest, it is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a simple gearbox from pretty much gel ball blaster with indexing gear. I would have to measure them, but yeah, pretty standard. Probably once while I'm at it, I might check this O-ring and this spring. So it's going to be a full mod in the end. Can this thing be removed? What kind of spring we have there? Oh, stiff. Okay, probably I'm going to leave that there. Already gave okay results. I'm gonna check if I got something else, but I don't think so. This is pretty much the kind of spring that goes in. It's a kind of a progressive spring. You see there's narrower coil here, same thing for here. But those springs are normally good, so that's gonna be the one going in for this. I just need to get that thing off there. For this little model here, two plans: shaving the bottom and inserting a brass ring up to the little a brass tube up to the little chambering ring there is inside this. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, that's our main issue here. Let me find an O-ring for this thing, probably one for this one, and I'll start cutting the opening in the shell at the same time. Then we'll be back for reassembly, because this thing is gonna give me trouble, and see if everything works. Okay, pretty much main work is done on it. Will be mostly reassembly and testing. First, I put an angle here, so it's gonna clear the tip of the dart head. Probably I might shave a bit more off of it, and I shave this little bit here, so it's gonna fit in the Talon magazine. One little thing, this is the member that holds the chambering portion. I had to shave both of the corner on each side because they were way wide and were preventing it from sliding back and forth because of those two lip here. For the plunger tube itself, I basically just changed the O-ring. I'm gonna lube it, but now, like, there's a little friction. Now it's holding and it's gonna seal. That's gonna be a lot better for it. And for the plunger, the previous O-ring had absolutely no contact with the wall of the tube. This one is very easy and contact pretty much all around. So I'm very hopeful all of this O-ring, this one, plus the little brass barrel are gonna help me increase the performance of this little blaster. As for the shell cutting and plastic cutting, like I said, I basically cleared the space from this hole to the back. I'm almost perfectly centered, but I'm gonna test it like that. Pretty sure I'm gonna get it to work. This spring is gonna stay there. This is the kind of progressive spring I don't have, and I don't have anything of this size which is this stiff. So I'm gonna keep that spring inside of this thing because it's working good. Now it is him, and I could even chamber it. That's a good thing. Now I will need to check the position of my latch, which is exactly in the little round in the molding. There's a little circle here, and it's exactly centered with it. So if I can just have my little notch here, exactly, I would have my mag fitted to this blaster. Okay, let me cut the holes in that bottom of a mag, and I'm gonna assemble it, show it to you, and I'm gonna mock glue it to the bottom of this blaster just for show, just so we can try it. Not much left to do. I will need to glue this makeshift adapter at the bottom of my casing. I basically took a little elite rail clip. I just shaved both ends so it can go in and out, and I put the spring stuck inside that little piece. That was the bottom of this magazine right there that I took. Okay, so now let me put some hot glue just for now, because I am going to do some cosmetic work to that thing, and I want to be able to remove that thing if there is adjustment needed. But if I close, oops, if I close the breech, it's pretty easy to have my right positioning, and I already cut it so it's stuck up there in the corner to be at the right height, and my breech is free in there with the new seal. So let me glue that, close the shell, and hopefully this thing is still gonna work. Okay, I'll put back together. Hopefully I did something right, but right off the bat I did something wrong, because normally when you press the trigger and when you release, it stays back. I must have misinstalled the gear lock lever inside, because now as soon as I release the trigger, it released the gearbox, which might help me with any jam, because when this thing was jamming on darts, it was not fun. But it jammed only with the dart included with it. With those, it was very good because the foam is quite stiff on those darts. So to have something comparable in both fire tests and chronograph tests, I'm gonna use either those AF knockoff, which got pretty stiff body, or to have something very, very much alike, some of those 3/4 dart that I just cut down to half length to fit this thing. Now, first test. Can this thing fire half dart? I'm gonna load a few in, might not fill it up completely to prevent dart deformation, but those are quite stiff, almost like worker, when they're new. But I'm gonna try loading them as straight as possible. Some of them might be a bit long. Okay, now for the first test, I'm gonna go with manual first. The dart fit in quite nicely. It's not bumping or anything. Okay, that seemed to shoot quite well, and on automatic now. Okay, battery is getting a bit low, but I was able to empty this magazine. That's pretty neat. Okay, let's check the chrono on this thing. Remember, it was from 60 to 70 FPS with lock. We're gonna try the first magazine. I took my Talon 10 round magazine from my Swift for one reason only. The regular 15 round Talon are a bit loose in the magwell and occasion some jam on automatic. I think this will solve the problem, but I'm gonna know for sure when I'm gonna try it on full auto. For now, manual fire with this thing. 98, 97, pretty classy. 103. 101. For a $26 little blaster, this is very impressive. I didn't do any spring upgrade onto it. I just basically fixed the seal. That's awesome. Now, let's hope it can fire on automatic. I'm gonna shoot one round, maybe more semi than automatic. Okay. That went well. Let me try another one. Well, I just mag dropped 2 mag with this thing. Didn't have any jam. 40 FPS, 2 of those were a bit off, but for the rest, it's all in the 90s and the 100. So I'm pretty happy with this thing. No spring upgrade whatsoever. So imagine what I could do with metal gear inside this thing, because I found metal gear that fit. This is standard part inside, and maybe a better battery. That would be impressive. With a better spring maybe. That would be great. Let's go try that thing on the target. No, all in all, it's mostly due to the state of the dart that this thing will fire well or not. Worker HE works pretty well in that thing because they are very rigid. What I'm using are the yellow 3/4 dart that came with the Fire Phoenix. Those two are quite rigid. If you got an AEB blaster, I suggest you cut them down to half dart if you need them to half, and try them in your blaster. They are not the most precise half dart, but they are rigid and they feed well into those things. I can't even imagine all this blaster, all in all, together. I mean, the full blaster, it's only this side. So it's like a AEG pistol in Nerf. It's an electric springer that is the size of a pistol. That is pretty neat. Very happy with this thing. It was almost costless to make. Everything comes including with the blaster, basically, even the battery. So I didn't do any work there. From now on, I think I will upgrade it because the potential is there, and I might have just some fine tuning to do on the breech, some filing here and there to be sure it is flawless. But it even accepts 37 millimeters, and I put pretty much anything into that, except for the problem is with Max Dart and AF Pro Dart, the foam is quite soft, they flatten very easily, and they slightly occasion more jam. Other than that, this thing is almost flawless. I can even mag dump with this thing. Yeah, I think that's it for this small video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at @thatoldnerveguy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.